you know, the thing that's important, as Dave said, is the fact that everybody probably is better able to handle this time than last time. I think last time we maybe took too much for granted, or maybe were trying to put too many timetables on this, timetables on that, and it probably really, I think, hurt the process more than helped. And this time it's, hey, you know what, that's what it is. You kind of go forward like it's never going to be the same, and if it is, you know, comes back, then that's good, right? You know, so if you're always waiting for Dave to come back, then the team is always waiting for Dave to come back, and that's not good. You know, we have to move forward because, as you guys know, football is about today, right? Okay? And so you can't be living in the past or living in the future. Okay? It's not possible. Okay? So, you know, as far as our lineup changes, I guess the only one that is of significance is Tony Simmons is back on the roster, and Chad Mock is back in practice. We probably are healthier this week than we were last week. You know, but that's, again, I'm not making excuses. I think that's the case with all the CFL clubs right now. You know, it's 10 games if you count preseason. It's a lot of football if you count June 1st. Okay, and you know, it's you know, when a pro really becomes a pro, right? A professional athlete is one that learns to play injured. Okay, and that's the I guess the tragedy of being a professional athlete. Okay, is that you know, you have to learn to play hurt, and you have to learn to not be a distraction like Mike's phone. Okay. Okay. And Mike, you did ask a very intelligent question. Okay? I got to commend you for that. On the asking about other athletes' experience.
Every once in a while.
I know, but you know, I got to say that I was very impressed. I was very impressed. Okay. You know, so it's, hey, you know, last time we came here, we were being scrutinized for being 4-0 and not winning very nice. Now we're being scrutinized for being 5-2 and losing, I guess, nicely. So I don't know what's the worst of the two evils, right? You know, as I said before, the difference between winning and losing is so fine. You know, it's 5 plays a game. And if you look at the 2 losses, if you can take 5 plays, change the outcome or make the outcome different, you win. Okay? It's nothing more, I believe, than that. Okay? You know, the teams in our league are all good teams. They're all fairly well coached. You know, the players as a whole are usually pretty good. There might be, you know, 2 or 3 key players on some teams that are a difference maker. But when it's all said and done, the majority of teams are what they are. They're very competitive. If they're right that night, it's going to be tough. And if you're not right that night, you're going to get beat. Okay, so, you know, I'm not overly concerned about where we're at. The tragedy is one team's 5-2, and everybody's giving them the cup. The other team is 5-2, and everybody is doom and gloom, right? Okay, so, you know, the perception sometimes is, you know, is really what, nothing more than a facade, right? Okay, when it's all said and done, it's the first third of the season. There's a lot of football to be played, and I think, like Dave said, and I'll echo this, I still believe that we have the best team, okay, and time will prove that. So, tomorrow night's game, I think we all know it's going to be an important game for both teams. You know, obviously, when you play a Western opponent, it's always important. And when you play a Western opponent the second time in, what, 3-4 weeks, it makes it even that much more important. But, you know, football is a game of opportunities. You know, do something with the opportunities, you win. Don't, you end up losing. Okay, so it is quite that simple, right? So we're looking forward to tomorrow night. Any questions?
Wally, after G-Roy's season last year, winning it, it's a phenomenal year. When you watch him play this year in your offense this year, do you see the opposing defenses doing more things against him to counter him, more scheming differently that have maybe changed how he can be successful on the field?
Well, you know, I don't necessarily think that teams are doing anything slightly different than last year. Okay, like last week we played, I think, Winnipeg. you know, you can see where there was some attention, you know, to him, but nothing more than last year. Okay, I guess the lack of production, if that's what you want to call it, is based on a lot of factors. And, you know, for me to go into all the factors, you know, I don't think it's necessary, and it's not going to be positive. You know, it's this guy's fault, that guy's fault, that team's fault. It's the reality of what it is, okay? And, you know, G-Roy's doing his part, let me put it that way. You know, can we be better in our execution? Definitely. You know, can we make excuses for our execution? Definitely, okay? You know, should you give credit to the defenses? Definitely. So you take the three factors, you know, so now the guy has, I don't know how many catches, what, 15, 20? So he's supposed to have 35. Okay, I mean, that can change within 3 days, 3 games, right? The thing that I'm not overly concerned about is G-Roy himself isn't necessarily changed. He can still get open. He can still make plays for us, okay? For some reason, like I said, I don't want to get into it too much. That's not occurred, okay? But, you know, can I say a negative? When we were 5-0, he had less catches than when we were 0-2. I mean, the last 2 weeks he's got more balls. We've lost both games. So there's no relevance, really, right? What's relevant is team success and unit success, right? Individually, you want success, but, you know, that doesn't mean it's got to always be judo, right? And I think that's the thing that sometimes people can't or won't understand, right? I mean, Mill Stiegel didn't catch a ball last week. When's the last time that occurred?
2005.
2005. Okay, I mean, so, but they still won. So what was more important, for Mill to catch a ball or for Winnipeg to win? I would think it was more important for Winnipeg to win. So, you know, that's why you got to be careful. Now, if G-Roy's skills were diminishing and he was, you know, then that's another issue altogether. That's not the case at all.